Okay, I'll start with this, obviously, but please don't close the briefing without allowing me or someone else to ask about the other very big story of the day, which is, of course, the new UN partition proposal for Western Sahara.
Okay.
So when you say that over the course of the day, over the days ahead, the U.S. will redouble your efforts, how exactly is that going to happen?
So a few things about that. First of all, as you know, we've been trying to achieve a ceasefire that returns the hostages home, alleviates the suffering of the Palestinian people, and ends the war for many months now. And the chief obstacle to reaching that ceasefire and bringing it into the war has been Sinwar, who has refused to negotiate at all in recent weeks and has said no time and time again. That obstacle has obviously been removed. Can't predict that that means that whoever replaces Hamas will agree to a ceasefire, but it does remove what has been in recent months the chief obstacle to getting one. So we're going to continue to work with our partners to try to find an end to the war. The secretary already today, while on Air Force One with the president flying to Berlin, called the Prime Minister of Qatar, who has been one of our two mediators, other mediators, working to reach an end to the war. He called the Foreign Minister of Saudi Arabia to talk about the path forward, and he will be having additional contacts in the days ahead.
Right, but what exactly does redouble your efforts mean?
So it means redoubling our efforts to try and get an agreement that would bring the hostages home. Look, I'm not going to.
So for the logistics. I understand what you want. I want to know what that actually means. Redouble. Does it mean that you're going to be making twice as many calls?
So you know the proposal that has been on the table for some time. We're going to be trying to push that proposal forward. We now have a different. Well, we don't know who will be on the other end of the negotiating table now, but certainly won't be Sinwar. So there's a different. It is a very different situation now. I don't want to predict too much what our efforts will look like over the course of the days, because we are just hours after what is a seismic event that changes the nature of this conflict. But we believe it is an opportunity to try and bring an end to this war, and we're determined to try and seize that opportunity.
Okay,
So
are you going back to a place where you were 2 months ago? Because I just don't. The redoubling suggests that you're
from a policy perspective and a strategic objectives perspective, what we want to achieve. We are in the same place, and we are going to continue to try to push forward the same proposals we have done with our mediators.
So redoubling does not include changes.
So here's the difference. Over the past few weeks, there have been no negotiations for an end to the war because Sinwar has refused to negotiate. There's been no path to ending this war because Sinwar has refused to talk about releasing the hostages or coming to a ceasefire. We now see an opportunity with him being removed from the battlefield, being removed from the leadership of Hamas, and we want to seize that opportunity.